if you're into like the whole Holy Knight, Holy Dragon aesthetic, then you have most definitely come to the right video. Tonight, or I don't know why I said tonight, it's daytime here, but wherever you are, I don't discriminate. Today we are playing Starry Night. It is a fun, non-meta budget strategy that revolves around a dragon that you pop when you summon and then you return it to your hand, and has a cool battle phase effect. Like, well, you'll see when I draw into it. So for the opening hand, I have a barrier statue of the heavens, which is unfortunate. You don't really want to open this card because you want to get it out with Ties of the Brethren. We have a Starry Night Rail, which is probably the best starter card in the deck. Goes in match, a very good floodgate considering we are only on light monsters, and a Starry Night Balefire, which searches you any of your Starry Night monsters, which is also very, very nice. It can also search any generic level 7 light dragon, which is technically what your strategy revolves around, so that is amazing as well. Our opponent has a Gamma Kit, Fractal, Nerval, and Pot of Desires. So at this point, all we know is that we are playing against pure Tri-Brigade. Maybe it is a Zoo variant, maybe it's a Lyrilusc build, who knows? We are going to find out. So I think the most optimal play here is, unfortunately, to normal summon the Barrier Statue of the Heavens, because we don't know what our opponent is on, and then we do have the Ties of the Brethren, which will allow us to still summon out monsters, and what we will summon out you will see in just a second. Our opponent has no response, and honestly, this is kind of a blessing because our opponent has Gamma, and if the Rail got Gamma, then we would have passed on nothing except the Ghost match. So we are playing the One of Honest because we can get it out with Ties of the Brethren. It does protect our Barrier Statue of the Heavens, which is very nice. So that is what we're going to summon out. We also summon out Asto. So this one can target one light monster I control and then tribute it for the effect not to cost, which is pretty good. That will allow us to special summon one level 7 light dragon monster from our hand. So a nice way to turbo out our main control strategy of the deck. We're going to use the Starry Night Balefire here, and we're going to search out that level 7 dragon. So for those of you guys who don't know what this card does, if this card is normal or special summon from the hand, you can target one card on the field, destroy it. It cannot be destroyed by battle with a dark monster or by a dark monster's effect. And then once per turn, at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks an opponent's monster, you can banish that opponent's monster until the end phase. And also, this card can make a second attack in a row. I think this is a pretty cool card to base a strategy around, especially in a rogue budget deck. So yeah, if you are looking to pick this up, I do recommend it. It's super duper cheap. So let's see how the rest of this duel plays out. We are going to use the Honest effect here to bounce it back to our hand because we do want to ensure that we can protect our Barrier Statue of the Heavens. Our opponent's going to let that go through. They're going to choose not to Gamma that. We're going to set the Goes in match. So here we have a Barrier Statue of the Heavens, Goes in match, and an Honest to protect this. We also do have the Asto to bring out our Starry Night Dragon in order to get a pop on the field. So our opponent will start their turn by using the Fractal, and if I'm not mistaken, they drew the Ghost Bell for turn, which wouldn't have done anything for them anyway, so not a big deal. Pretty good for us that they drew into a non-impactful hand trap here. So interesting enough, they're going to use the Fractal to send the Nerval here. Instead of sending the Kit and then Nerval to get like the extra materials in the graveyard, they're going to get another Fractal to their hand and following up with a Pot of Desire. So I assume maybe, well, not maybe, but most likely they were just using that in order to bait on Ash Blossom, because usually you do want to hit the Fractal there just so they can't send anything to the graveyard. They drew the Imperm and the Cobalt Sparrow off the Desires. The Imperm is very nice for them here, because it is a way for them to now play since the Barrier Statue is negated. But, yeah, we'll see what we can do here. We do have some interruptions. Unfortunately for them, we do have the Ghost match. They're going to normal summon the Tri-Brigade Kit here. Very good choice, because if they chose to go for the Nerval or something else, Ghost match might have kind of messed up the strategy. So here we are going to chain the Ghost match, and this forces them to only go into the Bear Brum here. And honestly, we don't really mind the Bear Brum, because even if they get Revo access here, what are they really going to do, right? Because they can't summon those monsters under the Gozen match. So yeah, it's not a big deal at all. So to follow up that, our opponent is going to go into the battle phase, swing into the Barrier Statue of the Heavens. For me, I do have rank 4s in my deck, so it is better for me to save the barrier statue here. So I am just going to honest. We are going to get rid of the Bear Brum here. It's going to activate its effect, adding the Revolt here, but unfortunately for them, it's not as if they have access to like 4 fire monsters or anything. Or even if they did, it doesn't do anything. So yeah, definitely not a big deal here. We draw into the Starry Night ceremony, which allows us to reveal 1 Light Fairy monster in our hand, add 1 level 7 Light Dragon monster from our deck to our hand, and then place that reveal card to the bottom. Not really necessary here because we already have access to our Starry Night Dragon. So we're going to just normal summon the Rail here, activate their effect in order to search a Starry Night spell or trap. We're going to search out the Starry Night Balefire, which we've gone over previously. We're going to activate the Starry Night Ceremony, which interestingly enough has a second effect where if our opponent activates a card or effect, we can special summon 1 level 7 Light Dragon monster from our hand. So we have multiple ways to get this big boy out. We're going to follow up with a Balefire activation, searching a seal here. And if this card is in our hand, we can either return a Starry Night or a level 7 Light Dragon in order to special summon it. And then the great thing about these Starry Night cards is they actually all have graveyard effects. So this one can special summon any Starry Night monster except itself. This one can boost the dragon by 1000 attack. This one you can banish it from your graveyard in order to special summon a dragon. So again, you have many ways to get it out. We're going to use the seals effect here in order to return the Astal. Bring out the seal. We're going to overlay, go into a Paladinamo here. We're going to use the Paladinamo's effect. We're going to change the attack of Kit to 0 here. Next, we're going to bring back the seal using the Rails effect that I just went over previously. And this gives us access to another rank 4 play here. And you know what else is a light monster? Utopia, baby. So we're not going to go for double here. We're going to go for the lightning. I didn't want to play the brick in double or nothing. So yeah, that is going to be 5,000 damage, and that is going to be exactly game because we have exactly 7,000 on board. How great is that? So yeah, that is the end of game 1, and Starry Night's already looking like a very interesting strategy. Now, I will flat out say, it is not a very competitive deck, but I did just want to showcase to you guys what the deck is capable of and what you're getting yourself into if you do decide to purchase this fun deck to play. So for the opening hands, we open up the Starry Night Dragon, 2 copies of it, which is very unfortunate. We open up Nibiru, which could be nice depending on the route that a Tri-Brigade player chooses. We have the Rail, which is our best starter, and we have a Seal. So apart from Nibiru, we don't really have much interruption. Unfortunately, if we open up with this card, well, 2 copies of it, 1 card would have been fine. Our opponent has a slightly better opening here with a Desires Ash Blossom Bell, which honestly doesn't really do that much in the matchup. It is impactful, but there probably are better hand traps. Rescue Cat and a Tri-Brigade Nerval. So let's see what they hit off of the Pot of Desires here, because that is going to be huge for them. So they're going to draw into a Bell and Ash, which is unfortunate to get dupes of hand traps. Let's see what they banish. A Tactics, Warbler, Kit, Psycho Raider. Actually, that's not bad. That's interesting. Swallowed, Desires, Tanky, Imperial Order, Chaos, and Revolt. So honestly, they didn't banish too much of anything. They're not really missing out on much. They're going to normal summon the Rescue Cat here. And yeah, this is the type of play that will get you punished by Nibiru. So they're going to link off the 2 kits here in order to go into a Baron Blossom, activating the kit's effect, setting Nerval, adding Fractal, which is an interesting add to be honest, because I feel like, well, I guess it doesn't matter since you will special off the Baron Blossom here. And I guess you do want to save the Nerval. So yeah, I guess in terms of their hand, that was the better add. But I'm always thinking about adding the Karash just to get that extra extender, but it did not matter there. We will nib them at that point just so we can avoid them going into the Bear Brum, because if they get Revolt, looking at our hand is not very good, and I don't think I can play around Revolt. So at this point, we just gotta hope they don't have it. So yeah, we're just gonna nib there. It's a very, very squishy token. Blossom effect won't get them anything that impactful here. Just a copy of Tenki to add a Fractal, and they can't really do much of anything else on their turn. So yeah, maybe this was a situation where, you know, Kairos would have been nice. Like, yeah, you would have wasted the Nerval effect. But then again, yeah, you can't really predict drawing the Tenki off the Baron Blossom. So unfortunately, we draw into the Asta, which doesn't really open up any line of play. We're going to normal summon the Rail, activate the Rail's effect to search, which will be met with the Ash Blossom here, and yeah, that's not great. So we're going to use Seal's effect to bounce back the rail. And in case you're wondering, why did you do that? That doesn't really do much. You just summon a lower attack monster. See, the reason you want to return the rail is because you can just save it for next turn. If I live that long, to be honest. You can save it for the next turn, so that way you can normal summon it again and attempt to search again. Whereas if you just left it on the field and you left it to die, if your opponent got rid of the monster, next turn, look at our hand, we would have had absolutely nothing, right? So at least this way, we do have a evolve for the next turn. We can attempt to search something again. And yeah, we're just going to swing here for 3,000 direct after the Seal runs over the Nip token. We're going to go into a Hippo Shinigami because this will allow us to add something back from our graveyard. Honestly, at this point, I'm not too hopeful. I know they have a Tri-Brigade name in their hand. I brought out the Hippo Shinigami just in case, you know, my opponent somehow makes a very terrible misplay and I get to add back the Nibiru from my graveyard. That is the only reason why. I'm just hoping my opponent is maybe a little bit not too good here. So they're going to normal summon the Nerval, activate Nerval's effect. Going to get out the Shurag here, which will banish our Hippo Shinigami, which means we will not be able to get his effect. Very unfortunate, but I mean, it is what it is at this point. You know, you can't win them all. They're going to link off the Nerval into the Almirage, and then the Nerval will add the Karas here, using the Karas effect to special summon itself, banishing 3, bringing out the Desperate Doom Eagle. Yeah, this is just very unfortunate. That will shuffle back the Seal. They're going to link those off into the access code, and that is 8,300 on board. We have absolutely no interruption. So that is unfortunately game, and we are going to go into a game number 3. So obviously, you've seen this as a control strategy. I will want to go first. Looking at the opening hands, we open up a Balefire Ghostly Match, Starry Night Arrival. So this is a trap that allows you to special summon from your hand the level 7 Light Dragon and then also bounce it back to your hand, so that way you can keep recycling the pops, which is very nice. We open up with an Honest, which doesn't do anything, and a copy of Summon Limit, one of my favorite traps in the game. Yeah, so the Balefire unfortunately gets Ash with my opponent's only hand trap. That really sucks. So we're just forced to set the Ghostly Match and the Summon Limit here and hope that it's enough, hoping our opponent doesn't draw into any Twin Twister or Harpy's Feather Duster. So they do top deck the Desires, and if they draw a Twin Twister here, we are absolutely screwed. So let's see what they draw into. A Fractal and a Rescue Cat. Let's see what they banish. Ooh, I see they banish a Twin Twister, which I like to see. Tenki, Nerval, Cycle Reader, Talons, another copy of Ash. Harpy's Feather Duster is gone too, so it looks like we might be in the clear here. Revolt, Ghost Spell, and a Karas. Okay, pretty cool. So that means we personally don't know because these are all banished face down. But from a replay perspective, that is a very big sigh of relief for me. So they do activate the Fractal here, which will allow them to send the Cobalt Sparrow, interestingly enough. They're going to use the Warbler in hand here in order to special summon itself. That will get them back the Cobalt Sparrow. They're going to use the Cobalt Sparrow effect to add here, which I will change Summon Limit to. They're going to add another copy of Warbler. And at this point, if I wanted to, I could have also locked them into wins, but there's no point in revealing what the set card is yet. We draw into a Starry Night Asto. Very unfortunate. You hate to see it. So we're going to be forced to normal summon it here, get a body off of their board. We do have the Honest to protect this, which is kind of funny, to be honest with you. So yeah, we're going to go into the battle phase here. We're running over the Warbler. We're going to set the Arrival that we drew just to, you know, maybe bait. They do top deck the Ghost Spell. And we'll see what happens here. They're going to normal summon the Nerval. Nerval effect will activate, to which I will chain Ghostly Match to, forcing them to go into a Wind Monster. Well, yeah, I kind of wish they could have banished for more, because that way maybe I could have just completely locked out the effect, but it is unfortunate. They're still able to get the double Dragon Lords here. So let's see what they decide to do here. They decide to go into battle phase, not knowing I have Honest. They do know that I play it because I'm pretty sure I revealed it game 1. Damage step is good to go. I activate the Honest here, getting rid of the double Dragon Lords. That is kind of a misplay on their part because this is a quick effect that they can use on their turn. They could have just bounced us before damage step, and just not lost their monster. But it is what it is. We top deck Extravagance, which is a huge top deck. We have a lot of starter cards, a lot of search cards in our deck. If only we can just draw into them. We draw into the Astel and the Flammo here. Oh, these just don't do anything. Flammo is a battle phase card, a battle step card. That doesn't do much. Another copy of Astel also doesn't do much for us. If only we were playing the Utopia double package. Oh, actually, no, that doesn't even matter because we're under summon limit too. So, yeah, this is just very unfortunate in general. We're going to normal summon the Astel here. Just going to the battle phase, run over both their monsters. They're still under summon limit. So, this is what they have to play around. We're just going to deal an unfortunate measly 500 points of damage. Nerval will add them a copy of Fractal to their hand. Next, we're going to link these off. Going to a Hippo Shinogen yet again. And this time, they do have to struggle to out it a bit more. They can't go into the Omen to banish it. I believe they just drew a cat, if I'm not mistaken. So, let's see what the play is here for them. I'm just going to normal summon the Nerval here yet again. Going to banish 3, it seems like. Ah, that's right. Desperate Doom Eagle is also a card. Ooh, that might be a little hard to deal with. So, the Desperate Doom Eagle comes out. It will activate its effect in the battle phase, shuffling back the Honest, running over the Hippo Shinogen, which is very smart because that's the way I can't add back the Honest. They're going to use the Ghost Spell here on the Hippo Shinogen, which they also can do because Ghost Spell negates activation, which means it can activate in the damage step. So that is going to be the end of their turn. Thankfully, we have Ghosted and Summon Limit to limit what our opponent can do. We're going to top deck a Seal, which also, unfortunately, doesn't do much for us. So we are playing quite a few Starry Night names, and unfortunately, only the Searcher is kind of like your most optimal starter. Otherwise, you're mostly relying on these guys for their graveyard effects or just to play around with the Searcher. On their own, they don't really do much. So we're just going to run over the Nerval here, deal 1700 points of damage. Our opponent will activate the Nerval effect, adding the Keras to hand. Desperate Doom Eagle, unfortunately, is a quick effect. So they will be able to clear out our graveyard here bit by bit. I completely missed what they drew, but yeah, Desperate Doom Eagle will activate yet again, putting back the Astel, quickly depleting all of our graveyard resources, running over the Seal here, dealing damage, picking apart my life points bit by bit. They will set the copy of Tenki, seemingly to try and bait something out. We top deck an Ash Blossom, and yet again, we're left with nothing to do. Desperate Doom Eagle will activate again, shuffling back the Seal. They only have one monster left in our graveyard to shuffle back. For their turn, they will shuffle back the Hippo Shinogen, and now this jumps to a 4,800 attack monster. That is a lot of damage there. We desperately need to draw a play starter. They're going to set the Call by the Grave, which is also very huge. We draw a Solemn Judgment, which just doesn't really do anything. So we're forced to set our Starry Night Flammo. We're setting the Solemn Judgment, and we're just hoping for the best here. Our opponent, yet again, doesn't really have any way to OTK us or kill us here, thanks to Ghost and Summon Limit. They're going to run over the Flammo here. After they run it over, they will shuffle it back to get that Desperate Doom Eagle back to 4,800 attack. They're going to set the Rescue Cat here, interestingly enough. So we finally draw a way to play, and we just have to hope our opponent doesn't have Ash Blossom. After all of these turns that we have given them, we will activate the Balefire here, searching out a Starry Night, Starry Dragon. And next, we will activate that trap card that we so-called, set to bait, which comes clutch here. So now we get to special summon our Starry Night, Starry Dragon. We're going to activate the Starry Night Dragon's effect in order to pop the Desperate Doom Eagle. Now we get to run over their monster, and we just got to hope that their back row is nothing, and they got nothing good in their hand. So, yeah, that is going to be the end of our turn. We're just sitting on a 2,500 body and a Solemn Judgment, hoping that's enough paired with our Floodgates. Let's see what our opponent chooses to do here. Going to activate Pot of Desires, depleting whatever is left of the deck. Going to 7 cards left in their deck. We're going to use the Ash Blossom here because we don't want them to draw into anything good. But they do have the Call by the Grave, and sometimes you're just that good at the game. So they will draw into the Tenki and the Ash Blossom. Nothing too great for them here. You're going to just set the Rescue Cat and be forced to pass their turn. Setting the Tenki as well, seemingly just to bait something, make it seem like maybe they have an Imperm here in order to negate the Arrival. But, I mean, if that was the case, you'd probably set it under the Ghost match. So, yeah, it's not a big deal. They'll still end their turn because this is a main phase only effect, and I did want to get this back to my hand. So we're going to go into the main phase here. We're going to activate our trap yet again to special summon out our Starry Night Dragon. And in a more simplified game state, you can see how this is kind of an annoying strategy because we get to bring it back, summon it back out, pop something, swing. So yeah, we're just going to pop the face down monster because whatever they have, if they have Revolt, we're not really scared of it. We have Gozen, and I mean, if they had something else impactful here, they probably would have used it by now. So we're just going to swing for the 2500 here. No more summon the Astel because this way we can bounce back our Starry Night Dragon with the arrival, and then we can use the Astel to summon it and pop on our opponent's turn, which will be pretty nice. So they're going to normal summon the Keras here. We do have to think about it here because Shrek is an earth monster, and if they have enough to banish for it, it is kind of scary in this situation. So we're going to use the arrival here in order to bounce back the Starry Night Dragon. Then we'll use the Astel effect here in order to tribute itself, bring out our Starry Night Dragon, pop the Keras here, and even if they hypothetically had another Keras in hand to follow, it didn't matter because they are under summon limit. They wouldn't even be able to use the effect. They are going to use the Monster Reborn here in order to bring back the Astel in my graveyard. I assume because they're scared of the 1000 attack point boost that it can give my Starry Night Dragon, which would be enough for lethal. And then bringing back their own monster just doesn't really do anything. They probably aren't very familiar with the strategy. Maybe they thought I had another way to pop whatever they brought back. So you know what? That's a good safe play for them. We will draw into the Starry Night Ceremony, which won't do much here. It will be nice to pop something on their turn. We're just going to run over the monster here, use our arrival to bring back our Starry Night Dragon, activate Ceremony here, which is another way to summon out Dragon. And yeah, we're just going to pass on that. They have 3 cards remaining in the deck. They top deck a kit. What can they do here? They're going to normal summon Fractal. They still have Bear Brum, so they're just going to go into that. And that is both of their summons right there. We have a pop. We're not too worried here. Just going to activate the Tanky here, to which we will respond with the Ceremony here. Honestly, I don't know why they did that. There was absolutely no point, considering they're not even searching. So yeah, we're going to use that, bring out our Starry Night, Starry Dragon. We're going to pop the Fractal here. I mean, it didn't really matter what we popped because they can't do anything to begin with. So yeah, that is going to be the end of the turn. They can't do anything with our Starry Night, Starry Dragon. And ooh, we top deck another Starry Night, Starry Dragon. And this should be the end of the game right here. So we're going to use our Astel's effect and boosting our Starry Night, Starry Dragon by 3500. Start of damage step, we're going to use the Starry Night Dragon. We're going to banish the Bear Brum, which will allow us to swing again, and then we will be able to swing for the 3500 for lethal, not even needing the second Starry Night Dragon in our hand. So yeah guys, that is the Starry Night strategy. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. I think I went kind of like in depth explaining it, so hopefully I did a good job at that. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Bear signing off. Peace guys.